I am going to teach you the entire Set 4 Emath Chapter 1. Let's go. So for the first thing that we got to know is that what's this chapter all about? It's all about set language and notation. So it's everything got to do with sets. And this example over here, this is a set. So a set in math is typically denoted by these curly brackets, followed by elements inside of it is what we call the members of the set. So over here, we can see that this set contains members such as 1, 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth, right? And then this ... over here represents that this over here is an infinite set. So there are two types of sets. You have a finite set and an infinite set. A finite set is a set that has finite number of members, whereas an infinite set, it goes on indefinitely. Now this symbol over here represents is an element of. So as you can see over here, 3 is an element of A because we see that 3 is present inside of set A, whereas -1 is not an element of set A because we can see that -1 is not part of the set, as we can see inside the set over there. Now this over here, it just means that we have a set that contains the element 3 and it only contains the element 3. So this goes back to my earlier example of what a finite set is, right? This is a set that only contains one element. Now, the next symbol that we need to know in this chapter is this symbol over here. So whenever you see an n followed by a bracket followed by a set inside, this means the number of elements. So the number of elements in the set is 5. In other words, we have 5 members inside the set, right? So n bracket means the number of elements inside the set. Next, when we see equal, that means these two sets are exactly identical. So that means they have the same exact members, no other way around it, same exact members. Now for the next two over here, these two fall under the idea of proper subset. So what is a proper subset? So if I say A is a proper subset of B, it means that A over here, A occupies this amount of space and then B completely eats up A, which means that A is actually a set inside another set. So we say it's a subset of B because B is the bigger set and then A is the set that lives inside of it. And then of course when we put a slash across the symbol, it means that it's not a proper subset. So whenever you see a slash, it just means it's not a proper subset of it. Next, the difference between this and the symbol on top is this dash at the bottom, and this dash at the bottom means it's just a subset, right? So the difference between a subset and a proper subset is that for a subset, the smaller set over here, so A over here, can be the same size as the bigger set, right? The so-called bigger set. So if these two sets are the same size over here, we can say that A is equal to B or A is a subset of B, right? It both means the same thing. So that's literally the difference. A proper subset has to be exactly encapsulated within it, whereas for a subset, it does not have to necessarily be encapsulated within the bigger set. Next, we have this symbol over here called the universal set. Universal set is the set that contains all the sets within the question. So for example, if I have set A and set B over here, these two sets are within what we call the universal set. And the universal set, basically, it defines the constraints of the question and what is included and not included in the question. Next, we have this symbol over here. These two symbols actually mean the same thing. And what they actually mean is just empty set. So empty set means they contain no members at all, right? Completely empty. Typically denoted by this, but this also means exactly the same thing and they both carry the same merit. Next, over here we have A prime, and what A prime means is just the opposite of A, right? So if A is the space that contains everything inside here, then A prime will be everything in green over here, which is outside of A, right? Everything else, essentially. A prime is everything else. Next, we have A intersect B and A union B. Now, these last two things over here, what they actually mean is that A intersect B means A and B, whereas A union B means A or B, right? That's the difference between these two. So if I say, let me draw a Venn diagram over here, and let's say I have two sets over here, right? A and B. So if I say, where is the region where we have A and B, right? The region where we have both A and B present would be here, right? This is the A and B over here. Whereas if I say, where is the region where I have either A or B? A or B would be here or here, right? Because both purple regions have either A or B. So this will be A union B, whereas the top will be A intersect B. So basically, this is the whole summary of the whole Set 4 Emath Chapter 1. And I basically gave you a rough overview of it. But of course, we did not go deep into it. We did not discuss the specific questions. We also did not discuss each concept that I mentioned here in specific. So if you would like to gain a full access to a full library of all lessons that teaches you all these concepts from scratch, ground up, and really build your foundation right from term 1, week 1, and also example questions that show you how these concepts are being tested in exam situation, make sure to WhatsApp this number over here, the word library, and I'll send you a demo link to my A1 Math library archives, where I basically filmed hundreds of videos of video lessons that you can watch at home that personally acts as your tutor that teaches you all these concepts from scratch without you having to leave your house. So more information and you want to get the link to the demo, WhatsApp this number and I'll send you over there.